Thanks, announcer Mark. And he doesn't know it, but Mark Hamill just became the announcer of the show. With
it was always a dream of mine to be on the MakingStarWars.com. Oh wait, sorry.
I forgot I made that, and that was a nice surprise just now. I was like, "Oh nice. Yeah,"
I showed that to my wifey, and she goes, "He name dropped the show." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. Jason's that good."
Yeah.
If you cameo enough, Mark Hamill will do anything.
I think me and Mark Hamill are secret friends. It might all be in my head, but I think we're secret friends.
Well, you bought his entire Wing Commander NFT collection. People don't know that.
That's true. It did cost me $75,000. My kids aren't going to go to college now, but if it appreciates how I believe it will, they won't need it.
I'm waiting for the first country to say we're off the dollar, we're going full crypto and NFT for our currency, because that is when we invade another country.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
It will. Just give it time. The crypto NFT wars are coming.
They are. Like I'm telling you, man. Like it will solve itself if everyone's worried. Just wait till it happens.
So I was on Star Wars Santa's show today. And RF Gaming came on. That's some very nice things, and I was really glad his brother got to see episode 9 from his house, and that I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, well, no, not just now. Like before it came out.
He's in a coma. Don't tell him.
Yeah, back before it came out.
Oh,
and but like it was really 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 nice, and it made me feel really good. But I want to say that I wasn't I didn't do anything. I was the little rabbit on the road going that way, I was Yoda going that way, Luke, and the RF Gaming channel did it all. So it was but it was really nice. I feel good. I came into the show right now going, I don't care what we talk about. I feel good.
There's a multiverse where I went into a coma around 97 and just assumed they had made 3 more Shadows of the Empires games or 2 more, So I wake up out of my coma now, and I'm like, when did he come out? They're like, they never did
it. do you ever have the fantasy where it's 1994 or something, and you get into the equivalent of a DeLorean, and then you see all these Star Wars movies at once, and you imagine what it would be like just to get overblown with all of that stuff all at once.
Are you honestly, man, this is gonna break your heart, but the only thing I think about with time travel is if I went back and saw my dad in the 80s. You know what I mean? That would.
So you're a Bob.
How would that go?
You're a Bob.
I'm
Marty McFly. I want to go change the past.
It was a year ago. I was working on this project, and I decided to put in the Back to the Future trilogy. Had not watched all 3 of them back to back in a while, right? Yeah. Watched the first one a lot, but I hadn't really watched it since my dad passed, and I was like, this hit me on a whole different level. You know what I mean? To be able to see your parents when they were younger, you don't. And I wasn't terribly close with my mom, but my dad was pretty close. But it was just that. I don't know. That would be what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because the 80s are better because the malls were better, right? I like the 90s, but the malls were better in the 80s.
Well, no, man, this mall was pretty cool. His brother.
Look, man, Suncoast Movie Company was too expensive. A Sam Goody, you could still get RoboCop on VHS for a decent price. By 94, you're paying $100 for Ghostbusters and Letterboxd.
Yeah, it wasn't until I want to credit the Warehouse's previously viewed movie section as being what brought videos down to an economical purchase price for me.
Games were better in the 90s, though. It's not even close. Video games, way better.
Yeah, was it us though?
Cartoons way better.
Well, there were cartoons, really. I mean, we had Saturday morning cartoons and stuff like that.
80s cartoons were horrible.
Yeah, but they were, but they weren't.
The toys were cool. The cartoons weren't good.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't good for adults, but they did what they were supposed to do. They got me excited.
You sound like a company man.
I am a company man.
Yeah, you sound like a guy to have a Clone Wars poster in the background.
I was laughing. I was a little irritated, but also laughing at there's this guy on the Twitter.com, and he's out there pushing the thing that I was one of the people who harassed Kelly Marie Tran.
That is you.
But here's what cracks me. Yeah, he's like really pushing it.
So ridiculous.
And what cracks me up about it is like it's so stupid if you think about it for a second, because I would have to have known. Not only is the geography completely stupid, like I lived in Costa Mesa, and one of the IPs that of the harassers was Santa Ana. It's just not the same like place, but I mean everything is 20 miles apart in LA, in Southern California in a way. So
it's 20 miles apart, but it's a 2-hour drive no matter which way you go.
Yeah, it's not the same. And I'll be honest with you, when I was paying that Costa Mesa rent, you're telling me I live in Santa Ana? Excuse me, I live in Costa Mesa. But
Santa Ana's is the winds that hit you in October. It's horrendous. Yeah,
I'm still going like this from them. But anyways, but what I laugh about it is for their conspiracy to work, which was started by the Quartering, by the way.
Oh, great. The guy he was pimping, he literally simped white nationalist stuff last weekend.
He sucked Alec Jones's cock. I mean, what else is there to say about him?
Look,
he had him on the show.
Hey, look, you don't want to be sent that video in your DMs, trust me.
but
it's a bad way to start the day.
But anyways, I would have to have gone, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go harass Kelly Marie Tran and make her quit the internet. Then I will swoop in like a white knight and avenge her. Like, that is a ridiculous. I've never been able to if I could make people quit the internet, half of you guys wouldn't be here right now. But
excellent move, Wards.
Yeah, they just have shit for brains.
Get rid of the Mary Tran Rose.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. And
then support my Patreon.
But if you say it enough times, I guess it's true, right?
Yeah.
So,
dude, you fucking like. Even I didn't like the movie so much, But when I'd listen to you talk about it, I'm like, hey, it makes a good case. And I watched the movie, but you never once complained about her. Like I don't. Like nothing.
Oh no. They just think it was because Quartering said it was a liberal false flag. Liberals do this all the time.
What is a liberal false flag, bro? Is when you fart and you think you pooped and you don't know. You gotta check. Did I? Uh-oh.
Yeah, a liberal false flag is when some idiot mom accidentally puts the coexist sticker next to the imagine sticker. Those things, they don't make sense. One saying imagine there's no religion. The other one saying let's coexist. Anyways.
Can we just isolate that clip and put it up on the channel just to fuck with everybody?
Can we do a whole episode where you're Art Bell and you just go over my conspiracies?
Broke my heart. I voted the Donald and Art Bell, man. Like classic Star Wars tragedy.
Yeah. All right. Before we get too far into the show, let's get on the Book of Boba Fett train.
3 weeks away, are we, from the deal?
Are we even maybe less? Santa made me feel like it was less, but you know what? Santa's kind of a Christmas hype man. I'm not going to lie to you. He's a Christmas hype man. So
he's also a super capitalist. So when a natural disaster hits, he goes, "Ho, less people I have to deal with in 2 more weeks."
Well, I have to be honest with you, and I'm going to say it right here in front of Mark Hamilton. I'm elfist. I don't like them. I don't trust them.
I thought you were an Elvis elf.
No, I'm elfist. And I don't like them. I don't trust them. I don't know what their secret agenda is. And as long as they're enslaved by that Nordic superpower, I'm okay with it in this instance. So I'm going to throw it out there. Now people know. Now there's your conspiracy. There's your truth. All right.
It's because they spam you shitty Flash games all the time, dude.
It's because they steal my socks and they poke 2 holes in the condoms and now I got 2 kids.
My asshole friend gave me Elf Bowling on the DS. Back in the day, it was literally the Flash game.
That's not your friend.
I don't know, being his best man, but trust me, I got him back.
I think he was trying to break up with you as a friend, and you weren't getting the hint.
Then he got me the Hell's Kitchen game on Wii, and that's a Flash game too. There's a Hell's Kitchen game, but it's one of those time management Flash PopCap games they put on the Wii. I'm like, you would think, oh, I'll be able to cook the food fast, and he'll be yelling at me, which is what I wanted, right? I wanted Ramsay, come on, you idiot, like. But it wasn't. It's this little flash game, and you're like, you bastards.
You know what? I've come full circle. I kind of get why he's a pretty cool friend now. Because a friend who makes that kind of mistake has got to be hilarious. You just can't even get mad at him at that point. You're just like, all right.
Santa Jong-un. What? Jesse, dude. Jesus.
Okay.
We got Boba Fett. All right.
Boba Fett where? I made it big screen last time. I am
look at that.
Oh, look how I erected it. All right. This is called
That's what I say.
This is called Ready.
Yeah. Look at the name. You miss it, don't you?
Ready, Fett.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You know you
I ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
All right.
In difficult times, fear is a sure bet.
Nice finding it.
Oh, just like my desk.
These are just the first wave. They're going to war.
Then we will be ready.
That's the meat.
The Book of Boba Fett original series streaming December 29th.
I read the ends of these things in case you are a stupid child who cannot read, you freaking fool.
In my day, we made movies where they wouldn't prepare to go to war. I will not condone a course of action that would lead us to war.
I want Theo Bibble just to show up and just be like, must mean a communications disruption.
It can only mean one thing: a liberal false flag.
Oh man!
In my pants.
Yeah, so
he's called Seal Dribble now in the old
Seal Dribble. This is why prostate health is important.
All right. What do we got here? She's wearing that cool Snake Eyes outfit. It's dope.
Yeah, we have a couple new angles, but her saying her mentioning that line, and Mig was pointing that out on Star Wars Santa show today when we were covering it. Is that's the line they're preparing to go to war. So
can we go back to that shot of the city?
We built this city. Okay, wait.
Go
no, not Titty City. That's Titty City. This is a different one.
All I'm saying is that's not a converted pod racetrack.
You know what? Agree to disagree. I think I see kids there.
I think I see an owl carved into it. Listen up, people. There's space owls carved into that city.
Well, yeah. Whoa! Don't try to convince the quarter.
It's called Moss Deep State. It's deep into the ground, about 6.
Yeah. Well, no. The thing
it's fully erect, like myself, right now.
Look at that giant phallic symbol in the middle of the pod race track. It's literally Disney trying to make kids horny.
And it's white like Biden. He's weather manipulation in my pants.
Mickey Mouse's giant white schlong going into my episode of The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, the gloves aren't just white. He's got a big white tongue.
I'm sure Santa wants me to bring up the same after what I just said. But
all right,
Star Wars Santa mentioning that we see something that we thought was the pod race track is the most convinced I've been that this isn't the pod race track.
Right. It's a great shot, though. It's fantastic.
But I mean,
that's the kind of shot that would have been nice in one of those 3 films we got. This,
but I'm going to throw it out there. If you look at the city right here, see the opening in the mountains right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not clear if that keeps going or not. Mm-hmm. You really can't tell, and you see the city is built up there.
At least the Sandy Hook station.
But check it out, though. Look, you can see out of that canyon.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a street is built so pod racers could fly right past that little. What do you call it? That's not a citadel. What is that? What's that ivory tower thing called? I don't know. We're gonna call it Mos Cocula until they tell us what it's called. So Mos Cocula.
Ooh, Mos Cocula.
I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but it does look like you could drive pods right through that. So the pod race track.
You could.
Mos Cocula.
I don't know where that voice is coming from, but it needs to be in Star Wars now. Welcome to Mouse Calcula. Only 6,000 credits tonight. I think he's Uli, the guy from Autobahn.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I like what's that band?
Yeah, it looks like the Washington Monument. I'm telling you, there's an owl built into there, and there's a pizza basement.
I believe it's actually the deep state signaling that it's time to activate something about something. It's like an all the frogs.
You almost rapped, my friend. Good luck.
Right?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. So you don't buy.
This is the hellhole liberals want for us, stacked up, 6 feet under.
I will say that if it is the pod race track, I think that's the best idea. I think if it's not, I think that's a worse idea. There's still time.
All I gotta say is, if that's a pod race track, they got unregulated construction going on Tatooine, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, it's a lawless society in Tatooine.
Now we're in Smell Segundo.
Yeah, right there.
We know what those tarps are for because we can see one right back there.
Am I just having? Have we seen the Gamorrean guards follow her into that shot before? Look, this one has a little hood on.
I remember us looking at thinner Gamorrean guards.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Do I look like him now? What's up? I'm
look like Darth Nihilus, but all right.
Yeah. I felt really dumb today because I made a Sith joke, but I picked up a jacket from before, put it on my head, and then I realized I had a hood on, and I was like, oh, I could have just done this the whole time. But look at me, I'm a Gamorrean guard. But look at me walking behind Fennec Shand. Okay, here we go. Played. Yeah, so this
Look
is
at the size of that pig knuckles, what she's saying.
Yeah, Star Wars Santa mentioned that his helmet is upside down in this shot, and I think it's because he has the coins on the inside. What are they really doing though? They're going to the arcade.
So he can spit.
He's like, Fennec Shen, want to go play some Pac-Man? She's like, hey, I'm almost 60. I like Pac-Man.
He chaws now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. Big Lee Chew, though. I keep it for kiddies.
And that is definitely down in El Segundo.
I do love me some Big League Chew.
Oh, here, and then is that Boba's pocket pack? With like a thing on top of it on the back right here.
It's Warwick Davis just hanging on for dear life. Wow!
Warwick, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be filming Willow.
It's Warwick. Yeah, well, it's constantly delayed. I had time.
Yeah.
So, look. Oh yeah, look at that.
We see those coins fall in the trailer. Man. Okay. I want to say, I don't think that Tamara Morrison is fat. I never thought he was fat. For Boba Fett, he looks fat though, because he's so like ripped. And when you put the robes on him, I didn't think they shot him in a flattering light. But he is very bulky. He's a little bulky dude. And but look at this guy right here in the main shot right here. That is literally me. That's a Jason Ward bod right here fighting him. Are they putting the Jason Ward bods in the gang to make Tamara Morrison look smaller? like when you bring the ugly friend with you so you look better in front of the girl you like or whatever?
I had an ex-girlfriend who pulled that move. She had a few friends.
Yeah. It works. Yeah. It totally works. And right here, look at Cammy. That's so Cammy.
Yeah.
And then look at this Nikto. That's a Nikto, right? That's what they're called, Niktos. Nikto, Barada, Klaatu, or is it Klaatu? I don't know. Nobody does. But look at him right there, little weirdo. And then it looks like he has a little electrical staff. And then that's probably Boba. And right here you can see the outline of the gaffy stick.
Or he's got the weirdest boner I've ever seen. Like,
yeah. What it actually is? It's a shower head.
It's Cammy. Ba-ding.
It's a shower head. He's all, I'm here to clean house. And then he turns
I've got a back massager. You've got Cammy.
but when you do that on Tatooine, because it's a sand planet.
That's right.
When you do that shows opulence and true power.
but it's made out of your own piss.
Wait,
so
I feel something. I feel the presence. I feel the presence. The Great Zandao.
Hello, I'm back.
Hey, how's it going, Max? We're
It's
watching
okay.
Star Wars TV show.
I see that.
Yeah. So we got right here. Look, we got Cammy. This morning, Max asked me if somebody else might have been ripping off the analysis of this. I'm gonna say I don't think so. I think it was kind of like organically everybody kind of was like, oh, there they are. You know,
Got it.
I would like to take credit for it, but I can't, and I won't. Max, you want me to, Max, but I won't.
Well,
unless they did it all in this voice, then they totally ripped us off.
Yeah.
sorry, I clicked something by mistake.
Was it a pop up?
I was trying to click on the show chat, but I was accidentally.
She's like, hold on, I gotta go out to Target and get a gift card. I'll be right back. They say I have to do this. I can't be back on the show until I get a gift card for.
Trust me, there's a whole Nigerian kingdom that's gonna fall if I don't go right now to Target and get one of those dot
Gift
green cards or whatever they're called and put some money on it.
Yeah, gotta do it.
All right, Max. So right here we have look at Cammy. She's like, you know what? I don't like it, but you know what? Compared to Fixer, this is a real man. You know what I mean? You could tell she's kind of into it. No, she's not. She's not into it. Oh, look at him. Look at him. He's like, hey, dude, I don't mean to be weird. This is just like a cuck thing that I'm into. And I'd like you guys to leave. Thanks. And Boba Fett's like, I'm here to serve justice. Like, no, it's cool, dude. We live a lifestyle here in the desert by ourselves where we won't be bothered by the people on Coruscant who don't like our ways. Oh.
Nah, they were just assured Robert Kraft would stay in that room until the massage was done, Jason. And they were shocked. Like, what?
All right.
It's a dark shot.
It's a classic Rodriguez dark shot, which is also going to probably be a Star Wars novel. Star Wars Dark Shot. Learn the mysteries of something that wasn't even a mystery and that you don't care about.
12 things you didn't know about this trailer.
Look at
it's an upside down emoji.
Thank you. I was about to say that. Have you said that before?
Oh wow, no. I just saw that.
I was just about to say that too. I was like it's an upside down emoji and it reminds me of that thing on Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that little green guy, but upside down. The little like square green guy with the little face. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the other name for the ship, Smile Face.
Smile Face. We're thinking about getting rid of Slave One. We just don't like the connotations. We're thinking of Smile Face.
They tried to Moose Bosch, but it was too close.
Yeah. Look at the twin sons of Tatooine. It's like Luke Skywalker looked at him with his dream. And Slave One looks at him like, oh, I just want to enslave this place. Like my ship is called Slave One. Look at that thing go. All right, here we go.
Good shot.
Parkour,
That's
bro.
the Aquaman shot. That's the Aquaman shot. I've seen this in Aquaman.
Wait. I am fairly certain I just heard a sound. Hold on. Wait, if you listen closely. Cannonball. Yeah, look at him. Cannonball. It looks like so stupid.
Also, very reminiscent of the Joe Johnston sketches for Special Edition when they extended like the Bespin roofs and stuff. And
yeah,
Joe Johnston came back and did some really good illustrations for the Special Editions that were pretty dope.
I feel like, well, number one, Fennec Shan's helmet looks like a Praetorian guard with his helmet on backwards from the back, which is kind of cool but kind of weird at the same time.
It's cool beans for sure.
It's definitely cool beans, Max. But look at these guys.
When you're with Boba, you have to have a face in the back of your outfit.
I have to say, if people start showing up at cons dressed as these guys, I'm going to officially call you just a lazy son of a bitch. that is like you could just go to like Target and like make that costume in like a couple minutes probably. Which I guess is kind of cool if you don't want to.
They're ninjas, man. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I know he hates Batman Begins because of the ninjas. So
I gotta say, I think I'm going to be a little critical bitch about these costumes. I think they look like
that should be our little skit, little critical bitch. Hey, what's up, everybody? I fucking hate it.
little critical bitch.
And if you wear this, you're a little bitch too. Like, all right, man. Like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, like
maybe all this stuff's for making coleslaw.
I mean, she's supposed to look super fucking cool and be super badass, but the disparity between their costumes and hers it's outrageous.
Honestly, man, they give me the vibe of the cats in Temple of Doom. Because they wore all those reds, right? They had the little red sash and stuff.
On Santa's Star Wars Santa show, I said they look like guys from Backyard Wrestling. And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, but what's Dengar look like? He literally, you know what I mean? Like, Dengar's like one of the dumbest looking bounty hunters you could imagine.
Oh, yeah. And if they put Dengar in this show, they have to really up that costume a bit, you know? They can't. They have to just actually do some design work and putting it together instead of just being like, oh, is it bandages or a ninja cap, you know?
Yes, they couldn't do it very well. There was the tutorial on the Ninja Gaiden 2 poster. I didn't do it very well.
All the fake fans out there missed Yarel Poof with the Darth Vader helmet on. Right?
It's just his head, though. Fuck.
It actually is that Boba's helmet back there? Like on a stand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was gonna say because it looks like Yarel Poof with Boba Fett's helmet on.
Looks like it.
You thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, nachos. It's biting my hand. It's biting my hand.
Padres.
Yeah, we didn't we put together in a previous one that the pit droid was not putting the helmet on, giving him the helmet. It was like a different droid, or is it because of the other arm? I can't remember why now. We'll have to one of these days do them all at once and see what connections we make in that way. But
Aquaman.
Yeah,
This is cool. I like it. I like the speeder.
Yeah,
Good shot. Good shot.
Good shot, Filoni. Or Favreau, Robert Rodriguez.
That's how I look every time I see an Elden Ring trailer. Right there.
Right here?
Yeah, both of them. I'm both of them.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
I was wondering, does anybody know what this thing is behind him? Like, is that
it's for making Monopoly boards?
Is it?
Yeah, you got to roll it.
Looks
food? Is it for Jabba to do pull-ups?
Doner kebab.
Yeah, it looks like an exercise.
Looks like doner kebab, man. I want a doner now. Damn it. I'm hungry. Doner's so good.
Max, how many pull-ups do you think Jabba could have done on it?
It's gravity boots. He has to hang from the gravity boots.
None. I have to tell you what happened after all of this.
What happened?
So Saturday morning after the podcast.
Oh, after we were on Rob's show and we made it into a party. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. So I went to sleep and then I woke up and I heard it sounded like the fan in the refrigerator was like blowing. And so I unplugged it and I kept hearing the same sound. Well, it turns out that our pipes underneath the house busted. So that's why I wasn't sure if I was going to be on, because they have to come in the house and like break the walls and stuff like that, the sheetrock. So I had to move everything and like clear out space because they're going to need to.
You should have punched it out.
No, there's like water coming out underneath the house.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Is it going to be fixed up today?
Probably not. And the water's still running. That's why I wasn't sure if I was going to be on. So if I jump off, if
we see you float away, that's why. Oh, I'm gonna play this little thing that I made instead of saying it every time. I made a thing instead of saying. Hi, I'm a cartoon depiction of Jason Ward. You can support the show on patreon.com/MakingStarWars or on YouTube by becoming a channel member. It hurts to be a cartoon. It's very painful, in fact. But know that every time this channel gains a supporter, a little piece of my soul leaves this Toon universe and returns to Jason, making us whole again. This show will always be free, but it's never been free to create. If you think it deserves it, become a channel member or a Patreon supporter. Thank you for the support. Please, help me die.
Awesome.
Whoa, the show almost broke.
You help the show die. That's the show now. We just cover one thing and then end with the Patreon.
And then we end.
Hey, James. Yeah. James is on.
So, Mr. James. So the playlist confirmed something that I really didn't realize wasn't really that known. And Simon Kinberg says he didn't write a Boba Fett movie and reveals his Lucasfilm creative group era before George Lucas sold to Disney.
Sold?
And, sold.
Oh.
Before he sold it to Disney.
Yeah.
So writer, director, producer Simon Kinberg has got to be riding high on blah, 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 blah. It's going to talk about his show. Okay. But no one asked Kinberg about, or possibly even remembers, everybody remembers, that he was a major force at Lucasfilm at one point. Some reports said he was said to produce and write Josh Trank's Boba Fett. He was. A Lucasfilm movie that fell apart once Trank's disastrous showing supposed erratic behavior on Fantastic Four, which Kinberg produced, was revealed to the public. Goes on to say that Kinberg is also one of the co-creators of the much beloved animated series Star Wars Rebels, along with Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm Story Group Carrie Beck. Given that a Book of Boba Fett series is about to hit Disney Plus, and the character of Star Wars Rebels all supposed to graduate to the live action realm, man, I don't blame them for writing that, because I probably said the same thing, and I decided I don't like it. But as if something is better. But anyways, and several already have, including Ahsoka Tano and the upcoming Sabine Wren. It seems appropriate to us to ask Kinberg about Lucasfilm. For one, the writer-director said, no, he didn't write a Boba Fett film. Well, I never wrote a script to Boba Fett, but those other things, yes, he said. The conversation went quickly, and so we were unable to circle back to whether the trade reports were wrong, and Kinberg simply just never got around to writing it. And we reached out for clarification, and Kinberg was unavailable to comment further. Either way, just know that there's no old Simon Kinberg penned Boba Fett script in the Lucasfilm vault, and clearly Book of Boba Fett executive producers Robert Rodriguez, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni probably started from scratch. Now, one thing I want to put out there is a lot of times things seem like a conspiracy, and there really truly isn't one. It just happens to fall that way. But I do find it very interesting that right before Book of Boba Fett comes out, we have Kathleen Kennedy in Empire saying Josh Trank didn't really develop Book of Boba Fett. It never really got anywhere. It was
writer's credits.
It was
that sounds like arbitration.
Yeah, it's like very early stuff. And then in this article we have Kinberg dropping that he didn't have anything to do with it. Now, on one hand, I would say that sounds like conspiratorial, but I also don't see it as being in his favor to help push that agenda. So that's why I don't really think it is a conspiracy, but I do find it interesting. At least the timing is fascinating.
Conspicuous.
I like that.
Well, I'm glad he didn't, because his fucking writing sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I rarely say that, but he's produced enough material for me to not give a shit about any of it. I went to the LA Film School. Jeff Goldsmith does a really good podcast called the Q&A, but he holds live screenings of films at the LA Film School. Then you show up. If you get in, you watch film. Screenwriter comes in, gives a Q&A. So my buddy and I went to go see X-Men Apocalypse, because Kinberg got sole credit on that one, right? And it was really bad. And when he talked about it, it wasn't much better. He didn't believe that. You can listen to that entire interview on the Jeff Goldsmith Q&A X-Men Apocalypse episode. I think he's one of those guys people like you like him, and he can produce work, and he gets shit done. But it's not good. And then when I think about, I know he's got a writer's credit on Days of Future Past, but if I had to pick anything he worked on, because Jane Goldman originally wrote that with, she wrote it with Mike Vaughn going to direct originally, and then when Vaughn bowed out at the last second to go Kingsman, she went with him, and Singer took over and they did a rewrite. There's a train sequence that shows up out of nowhere in Days of Future Past where Magneto can just magically rewire all the Sentinel. That's a Kinberg moment. That's a Kinberg moment. And you're like, how has Magneto got the ability to rewire, you know what I mean, from a 300 feet away up in the air, Sentinels with his, like, that's Kinberg nonsense. And, you know, X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix speak for themselves. And I'm just glad he didn't have anything to do with Star Wars. I don't care for him. His work. Him personally fine, but his work, I don't.
Did he work on Rebels?
Yeah. He is credited as a co-creator of Rebels. One of the things about, as was Greg Weisman, Dave Filoni, I think Carrie Beck, and it's basically like Rebels is one of those things that was created very much in a committee, and it's not really clear who got to do what and whose input was taken in the creation of that. They've never really
not a committee. Sorry.
Yeah, they've never really truly said what came from where, and so it's all kind of and maybe it's like, yeah, we need a little boy, and everybody's like, yeah, a little boy, and then everybody agreed, and then that becomes Ezra through people tossing in ideas about him or something like, and stuff like that. So maybe if there's not something where you could like literally attribute it to one person. But what is fascinating about it is this next part. Oh, and there's an error in here by the writer, but it's not a big deal. Perhaps one of the other fascinating revelations from the conversation was the fact that Kinberg was enlisted into the secretive Star Wars story group that was put together to dream up new Star Wars films in the early 2010s. But now some of this was reported, but Kinberg said the group was put together before George Lucas sold to Disney in 2012. So imagine you're George Lucas, you've taken about 5 or 6 years break from Star Wars. You were brought in blah 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 to do Revenge of the Sith, which is 2010.
Okay, all right.
But I'm thinking about that now.
You then change your mind and list several writers like Pixar's Michael Arndt, Star Wars writer Lawrence Kasdan, Kinberg, and others to dream up a whole new generation of Star Wars movies. And in the middle of,
better than me,
towards the end of the process, you piece out and sell it all to Disney, who then takes most of these ideas to the curb.
Yeah, and then I get to complain about it every time I do an interview.
But
living the dream. But now it's your turn to get shit on for Star Wars. I mean, I lived it for 45 years. Do you
realize what this does to the Disney grift? I mean, not that they care about reality, they don't. But if you care about reality and how history actually unfolded and the way things were, this proves once again that George Lucas, whether he sold or didn't sell, had very little interest in continuing on with Star Wars. And he was going to do it because 2008 financial crisis wiped out Lucasfilm in a very bad way. Red Tails was a failure. There wasn't a lot of income coming in. He had wanted to go start a family with his new wife and have a baby.
Wow, have you seen her?
Yeah, and he also had several hundred people under his employment at Lucasfilm, and the company was going to have to like do something.
I told Chet not to hire his friends, but you know what are you going to do?
So, do you put was making a story group? Does that reflect that if Lucas didn't sell? Does that say he was going to have other people do it and he was going to start running Lucasfilm a lot like how it's run today with Kathleen Kennedy, who came in 2012 to be president? And that was the plan, because obviously Kathleen Kennedy never came aboard to not make movies unless she was.
Well, we were developing the whole story as blockchain, actually, Jason. So the story would be broken up.
Did Lucas just try to put the people he thought would make a Disney movie and a popcorn movie the best way that it could? Was he trying to like set his baby up for college and then kick it out of the nest with Kinberg as the teacher, Michael Arndt as the teacher? You know what I'm saying? Like was that what do you guys think? I mean, do you guys have any?
Kinberg is really big at Fox, and we needed someone at Fox that could talk to them because Laddie wasn't there. So, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, he made all the X-Men films by himself, right? Kinberg. So they're brilliant work. And he was gonna reboot to the Fantastic Four. I couldn't wait. That's why the X-Men were in space. In Dark Phoenix, because it was going to be. That's true. Again, he wanted to direct it, and I said, well, I got a better CGI character who's orange that you could do, and I think we could bring him back really big too, like make him big, big jar.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to interview Rick McCallum and ask him what he was doing at this time. Like was he playing into this, or was he already retired once Kennedy was brought in?
Oh, I was saying, let's just get it on. Cocaine's cheap, buddy. Like,
let's make a song. Come on, let's do it.
All I gotta say is these movies are so dense. Oh, so dense.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ricky. I mean, what movie have the elitist nerds and commentators liked since Empire Strikes Back? I mean, realistically, there hasn't been a thing that's happened in Star Wars that you can't paint in a largely negative light. But a lot of that comes from the very size of it, the very like nature. The beast is so big. Some people are going to hate it no matter what. Some people are going to love it no matter what. But what it does is that it like there's this almost like this vibe or this feeling that we were always all on the same page. The difference was, I think, is originally people didn't like something. They either were mature enough to shut the fuck up about it and move on with their lives, or they had no platform to talk about it. Like I had plenty of friends growing up who loved Rambo and Commando and stuff like that. And they didn't want to watch Star Wars. It was boring to them compared to that kind of stuff.
It was most of my childhood.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like the only thing I could get people to watch was Spaceballs. It's tough.
but then you end up in a world where, once you hit like 1999, where everyone gets to have a hot take and say what they think on a talkback message board.
Yeah, all the people named Harry won't shut up. They just keep yammering about how it could have been better. Even though they liked it, but it could have been better. What can you do? I watched the 95 VHS Bill, was it Leonard Maltin interviews, the interviews, the press, wizards, whatever. And you get to the Jedi one, and he goes, yeah, so why is it taking so long for the next 3? And are you working on them right now or whatever? And he's like, well, I am working on them, but it takes a while because you have to write all 3 at the same time. And I'm just like, you didn't write 3. You weren't even close to writing 3 scripts at the same time. Like,
he's such a liar.
He lies all the time, Lucas. He's literally saying it's taking me so long to because there's 3 films. And I'm like, you don't even have art for 3 films in 1995, not even remotely.
Maybe it was up here. It was in his head.
If you watched like the whole unedited piece, Leonard Maltin goes, George, I don't buy this. And he says, well, the real reason is your big fat mama. And then he throws down the camera and he runs.
Yeah, we used to call you Leonard Maltmeal behind your back, but people don't get the joke anymore. So.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like regardless of the quality of the work and our feelings of it, it's super clear that what Kinberg is and was to Hollywood at that time.
A liar too.
Somebody.
I think he was hey. Hold on. So let me finish your statement.
He is very good at making popcorn movies that are generally ingested and that people pay for, whether they're good or not.
Yeah, Triple X2 is fucking a popcorn movie, sure. So like, it was Jiffy Pop you left on the stove too fucking long and you throw out the door. Like
you're judging the movie by the quality of it, not by. But that's not the point.
Or what the fan reactions weren't great to Triple X2 with Ice Cube. Like no one liked that movie. Ice Cube didn't like the movie.
If you hire a realtor to sell your house, you don't really give a fuck what their pitch is to sell your house.
Oh no, I get all that. He hires someone who can get shit done. Like Kinberg isn't a guy, and I said that from the beginning. He's not a guy who's going to endlessly develop something until it hits a level of perfection. He'll get it done under a budget. Kazanjian, he'll get it under a budget. I feel like Kinberg was a carryover from Underworld. I can't put my money on it, but my guess would be it sounds like, because Lucas likes to roll with the same crew. So like a lot of the prequel guys, a lot of the Indiana Jones guys end up on the prequel, right? So Kinberg,
that's a really good question that needs to be asked one of these days.
Yeah,
is because the Underworld scripts did hit like a wall at one point, but they were developed by Ronald D. Moore, but that's the other side of it. Did Ronald D. Moore leave at one point, and then Kinberg replaced Ronald D. Moore when it wasn't happening quick enough for him?
It certainly didn't go the other way around.
Good question. Well, because I spoke to Kinberg. Was it at the Rebels? Was either at the Rebels screening in San Diego before it came out, or at the one in Burbank. Anyways, it was one of the times I saw the first Rebels thing, and I knew that he was there before the acquisition. I didn't even know that wasn't known. I forgot that wasn't known. But now I wish I had asked him about that, But
sure.
he was a nice man for what it's worth.
Yeah, he was incredibly nice. People are nice. I don't look, I'm an incredibly nice person, but if I make shit and I put it out there, I gotta take the hits. And the dude has consistently made dog shit films. So I don't know what to say.
Kathleen Kennedy, who's a hero of mine, hired me and Michael Arndt and Larry Kasdan to spend a bunch of time together just brainstorming with George on future Star Wars movies. So I think that probably answers it, honestly. He continued.
I say give him all the films. Give him Transformers and Star Trek. Give him everything. And he'll get it done.
We spent time up at Skywalker Ranch. It was kind of like a writer's room. We had whiteboards, and me and Larry and Michael and Kathy's team headed by Kiri Hart, which is the head of the Lucasfilm Story Group, I think. We would just work, or was it Rain Roberts? I can't remember now. But we would just work together in the daytime and at night, and we would have dinner at the ranch and drink. And Larry would tell stories about the original Star Wars movies he worked on and the Raiders movie. It was like heaven. Kinberg recalled the time that they screened the finished first episode of Star Wars Rebels to Lucas. I remember this, and he was extremely nervous about it. There was an amazing moment where Dave Filoni wanted to show the first episode of Rebels to George Lucas, he remembered. And so we went up to the ranch and screened the first episode for George. And I remember the whole time, I've never been more nervous in a screening for anything. I've been at premieres for movies that I've spent most of my life on Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which we screened a cut for Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. That was an early cut, pretty nerve-wracking. Especially because I was a kid at the time, but screening something literally sitting next to George Lucas that is based on his universe was wild. And the lights came up, and I remember he looked at me and David was like, "It's good. It's pretty good," which is like very high praise from what I understand from George. So why did Kinberg leave his dream job at Lucasfilm, and perhaps why he never did write that Boba Fett film? According to the filmmaker, it was a combination of things. Lucasfilm started moving away from certain projects they had dreamed up, Boba Fett being one of them after Trank quit the project. I guess that's how they put a question mark, because I think that's just him being nice to Trank. And by the way, I feel bad for Trank. I think the studio system's bullshit, and I think he just got railroaded and fucking fought back like a man. And then they made him look like he was crazy because he was like, "Suck my D." But anyways, and he became called towards the world, and he became called towards the world of X-Men, which began to consume his life.
Fuck me.
I just got busy with other things, and their focus also shifted away from some of the other things we were working on. And Solo bombing, I think, is honestly what killed that whole direction entirely. I think he was already stalling. The Trank stuff happened. Solo bombed. They were like, "We're not making this into a movie now."
And man's goal was definitely not making a Boba Fett film.
Yeah, I don't think that was accurate, to be honest with you. I really don't, because when you said that, I totally forgot about it, and then I thought about it more, and then my memory kind of came back, and I only heard it in that one trade article ever, from what I could recall. So I think they just have their wires crossed on that he was doing Indiana Jones meetings, and they probably, you know what I mean? They were probably talking to him at one point about
I could see how they could get the two confused.
You know, yeah.
Iconic hats, sure. dusty environments.
But here's where I think the money lies. I love Dave Filoni. I love Jon Favreau. I love Kathy Kennedy. I love everyone involved, and keep in touch with kind of all of them in one form or another. So maybe someday we'll see him making a television show with them, or
boy, that'll be the day. Can't wait.
Or doing an episode, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally possible.
No, boy needs work.
Right?
He lost that Star Trek gig. So.
I remember waiting for that trailer or a teaser at Celebration, because first we saw Rogue One, and then he was supposed to come out to do the teaser for, remember? And then they said he was sick or something.
Yeah, there was the that's right. There was the it was Rogue. They were supposed to preview the future of Star Wars with the two Star Wars story films. Mm-hmm. And we got and they actually made a Boba teaser.
Yeah.
That was like Boba that was like Boba putting on the armor.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it, and obviously didn't show it. Which is probably for the best in the end, because that would have made it all the worse if we had actually seen him. Yeah, because Rogue One, we actually got that cool trailer of the Death Star.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yep.
They filmed Kinberg walking up to a typewriter, and he just throws it out the windows. I don't fucking type. Pulls out the recorder. He's like, I just, you know what I mean? Like, we tell stories. We don't write stories, you know?
he picks up the typewriter, looks at it, goes, "You're not my type." And then throws it out the window.
Yeah. They filmed that, but, you know. Kathleen Kennedy just keeps canceling shit.
What? This? Oh, gosh.
Oh man, I'm out of coffee too.
Still playing in slow.
And greetings from I'm Agent Dario Zinn, and I would like to congratulate you.
Okay, it's poor actress. It's poor actress.
I know. It's not her fault.
I know. Oh God.
Yeah, she's very pretty. And she does a good job with it. You could literally, I'm not even kidding, during this video, you can tell that the director's like, "Okay, hold your hand up," and she like holds her hand up. "Okay, put your hand down. Here's the effect now," and like they're like telling her what to do, and it's so slow.
You know, when you get the gig, it's one of those things where you're like, "I'm so excited, I'm going to be in Star Wars." And then you remember some guy was somebody's sleazebag Tano, and he was in Star Wars too. And you know, like, not everyone gets to be Han Solo, right? Like, right. So sometimes you're sleazebag Tano. You know.
Hey, Meg.
And greetings from Chandler.
Yeah, it's
Can we just talk about the set design for a second? I thought at first when you sent this to me, I thought this was YouTube making fun of the characters from the trailer. I thought it was gonna be like an Oral Knots thing, or someone I set up like what I have. I'm not in front of a really house, right? Like I just have like a CG image. Huh? Yeah. Well, well, Max, you have a brilliant imagination. Like,
our show takes place inside that house, and I'm in a room. I'm in Bud Bundy's room that you never see.
But literally, my production value right now is higher than whatever the fuck that is, because that's not Star Wars. Man.
Dude, they spent $20 a month on the After Effects subscription, and they use it in this video.
I mean, if someone said it's like Star Tours. No, Star Tours, they physically had real locations at least, you know? Like they had puppets and shit. Like, the fuck is this?
I'm Agent Dario Zinn, and I would like to congratulate you on booking your voyage through the galaxy. You will be boarding the Halcyon, a Carillion MPO 1400 star cruiser built during the romantic age of exploration. This ship has hosted spectacular.
It's so tiny and out of focus, you can't tell where you're going to be on.
Like they had to show us her hitting the button and turning it off. It's like, oh, this is so tedious.
Vacations for centuries, and now Chandra Starline is celebrating.
Well, did you see how
Jason? You gotta Jason. You gotta understand. You go get your shots. You don't know what you got till you bring it back. And it's very difficult. If we had digital technology, we could see on set, and then we could adjust. But we don't have that now. So
okay, I'm saying you, me, and Max. I say we all go in $2,000 each to get a loan, but we dress up as Sea of Bibble based off of this, and we just keep running around the whole thing, ruining it for all the $6,000 families.
But with inflation, I mean, that's like
only one thing. It's invasion. Get the gun.
With the inflation, that's like $20. Like, I don't know. I mean, you can see now why Kurt's obviously produced this video.
a transmission interruption can mean only one thing: inflation.
It can mean only one thing: inflation. Like, oh shit.
Vacations for centuries, and now Chandra Starline is celebrating with a special exclusive journey to Batu.
He's like, nope, that's invasion, you guys. That's a home invasion. She's gonna be on the floor with the end of a gun in her mouth while they take everything out of there. Cammy and Fixer are gonna be doing that thing that they were doing earlier with those Nicktoons.
Like, and if you could please just go to Space Target and get a $500 gift card. No, don't. Like,
said Target. Do you feel the selfie I once felt?
Yeah, it's a real planet.
The path of its maiden voyage. For this special voyage, your ship will be piloted by the esteemed Captain Kevin. So
look at that asshole. Like, I want to beat the shit out of that guy. I don't even know why. I'm not a violent person, but that is the stupidest looking, jolly ass Mr. Toad's Wild Ride looking motherfucker I've ever seen related to Star Wars in my life.
If if Kinberg scripts were a person, he'd look like that. Just saying.
I mean, look at him. He looks like he's about to bring Christmas joy on the Polar Express.
About my writing.
You are
I didn't write Triple X2.
Well, hello, children.
hands. While on your voyage, you will have access to an exciting range of activities, all just a short stroll from your cabin. Try your hand at the honored ancient art of wielding a lightsaber.
Right here.
Yeah, on a ship in the middle of space, that'd be fucking wonderful. Like, just have at it.
Man. Right here, but she says lightsaber, like her arms kind of go back. She's like, "This is my moment. This is my moment to break out of this role and to own it and to make it mine and to show people that I."
Man, she's trying.
It's not her fault at all. No, it's not. I mean, like honestly, like the editing on all this shit is so bad. Like it's like literally, here I go. Watch me now. Hit the button to turn it off. Now that I said a bunch of nonsense, watch me turn it back on and back off. And then like the sound effect is like a second late every time. It's just like, is this for real?
That's why I thought it was a YouTube goof.
Yeah, no, it's not, dude.
I'm not even joking about it. And I was like, wait, this is real.
Yeah. They're really going all out on this $6,000 cruise.
Woo!
How the crew operate the ship at a bridge operations training session. Or if you'd like, relax and play a game of Hollow Sabak over a cocktail in the cozy Sublight Lounge. Your vacation is what you make it aboard this legendary Star Cruiser.
No! If it's not $6,000, you make it into a Star Wars experience!
You can make all of our merchandise that you can then buy at the store.
Myself and Chandra Starline, I would like to welcome you to the spectacular world of galactic exploration where your journey is our honor. See you soon, traveler.
And then you can immediately go to Avatar Land where they spent real fucking money and you can like enjoy an amazing experience on Pandora because this fucking shit.
I'm gonna write some fan fiction where right after she films this piece, she actually pulls out a gun and she's like, "All right, this is a fucking robbery. Everybody on the ground."
You can make thermal detonators and blow yourself up.
Like wouldn't it be badass? If that's where it went, all of a sudden she pulls out the gun, get on the fucking ground, they execute the captain, and then they start putting like pirate ship up and there's like all these like dirty creatures come in, and like at first you think you're going on this really lame like High Republic looking like piece of shit garbage thing, and then actually though it was gonna get taken over by pirates, and now you're a pirate, and it's just fucking fun and cool. They could save
Meg's
it.
in the backstage, Jason.
They could save it. I just gave you guys the idea.
Our line reserves the right to alter any excursion or itinerary without notice in the unlikely event of piracy, invasion, sabotage, or planetary uprising.
Do it.
Chandler Star Line is not.
Meg's in the backstage.
Oh, Meg is here.
Yeah.
Meg is here. Hey, Meg, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
We're just watching the new Doctor Who Christmas special.
I can tell. It's definitely not Star Wars.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
well, you know, they're good actors, but just bad writing this season, right?
It seems to be the case.
Yeah, I think I've seen enough of it.
Hi, Meg.
Hello, Max. Great
How
to
are
finally
you?
speak with you. I'm good. How are
too.
you?
I'm good. Thank you. I like your
Yeah.
animation.
I did this for Santa.
Did you really?
Yeah.
As
I
every
change
elf.
my avatar every time I go on his streams. I've got a different look.
Well, I've seen the avatars. Yeah, I didn't know you did it though.
Oh yes.
When I'm a cartoon, it really hurts my soul, and people have to give me money to bust me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I made an ad like that today. But yeah. So what were your thoughts today on the new TV spot, Meg?
I literally just posted my my thoughts and breakdown
Nice.
just as I came on here, but you know, there wasn't too much new footage. Fennec Shand kind of teases some conflict, and she says this is just the first wave, and they're starting a war. But who is she referring to? So is that going to be like a Mandalorian clan, which is what some of the early rumors were? Is it going to be some locals of Tatooine, or is it going to be the crime syndicates, like some of the big ones, like the Red Key Raiders or Crimson Dawn?
Right.
I hope it's the Dawn. It's on my Boba Fett bingo. The Dawn.
The Dawn.
That's gotta be the Dawn.
Turn makeup.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's why the ninjas are red. They're Dawn ninjas.
Well, my hope is that first episode we're dealing with locals, and it just kind of keeps going. You know what I mean? Up, and then it ends with maybe the First Order kind of stuff, or the Imperials at the time, because they did kind of set one of the things I think that, like, in my speculation that I've overlooked, is that the First Order at the time are essentially operating as warlords. And what are warlords if not essentially criminal syndicates that have fallen, or essentially governments that have fallen into the criminal underworld? And they kind of seem to be operating there to like some extent, you know, like they kind of mentioned the stormtroopers being like all kind of like these brigand types and stuff, and that's why they're dirty, but they're all tougher. And so I'm curious if that's what we're going to see, like the dominoes kind of falling and Boba's problems getting bigger.
I quite like that, or it's all a misdirect, because I think the trailers that we've got are literally from the first 2 or 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It's why they're using
I think it's
repetitive
the whole thing.
footage to hide something.
I think you're way off. I think they gave it all away.
That's so dumb, dude.
But you think it's the opposite. It's like that's the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. You know, trailers, man, they just can't help themselves. They have to throw everything into it now. And it fucking ruins the whole show for me. Whatever. Nothing to see here.
No,
Trailers are too long these days. The Book of Boba Fett got it right, but trailers generally are ridiculously long and just reveal the entire plot. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I would say Disney did a better job than George Lucas did with the prequel trailers. If you watch the original Revenge of the Sith trailer, you literally see him become Darth Vader in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you know that's what's going to happen, you don't really want to see it in the trailer. You want to wait till to go to the cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, big thing with the prequels that people I think criticized overall was that Darth Vader moment, and also Darth Maul's second blade coming out in the Phantom Menace trailer. Because that's like the big oh shit moment, like when that happens. And it was a little bit diminished by the fact that we had watched it about 4,000 times before we saw the movie. So when it happened, you're like, yeah, there it is, you know. But yeah, the whole Boba Fett, like the whole idea that we would they wouldn't show us anything but the first episode or footage from the first episode. That rings true to me. That rings exactly like how this is going. And then that way we don't see it coming, and then everybody talks about it like as every single week when the stakes rise. Like with what was that one like WandaVision? We really didn't really have too many hints about what was coming. And I think like WandaVision was the one that I followed the most of the Marvel stuff. And it's the same people that are cutting these. So
you're referring to the teasers, right? Or the TV spots?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see any of them.
Yeah. TV spots and the even the trailer is they were like, oh yeah, you knew that you were going to get some different shows, but you didn't really know anything about or different formats for the shows, but you didn't really, I don't think you really knew anything about the story other than what you were introduced in the exposition of the first episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also think that probably helped them give us 2 episodes of that at first. There were rumors for a while that were going around from some credible sources that were saying that we were going to get 2 episodes of Boba at one point, but now I don't believe that is the case, which is unfortunate because I would love to have had 2 episodes of Book of Boba right after Christmas. Would have been more fun, but it doesn't look like it's going to go that way.
It was similar with the Mandalorian season 2, where it was like we all had these theories with the trailer, but we had no idea how massive sort of chapter 11 onwards would be with Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, and then obviously Luke at the end. But I remember when we saw Maldo Kreis, the ice planet, and everyone was like, oh, look, it's Ilum. And then it didn't end up being Ilum at all. We were all completely way off. So that's why I kind of refrained from speculating too much with the Book of Boba based on the trailer, because it's like we think it's the Red Q Raiders. Some people are saying it's Crimson Dawn, but I'm expecting a curveball. That's Robert Rodriguez style. That's what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau did with The Mandalorian. So, sorry I interrupted you, Max.
No. What was your favorite Mandalorian episode?
Chapter 12, The Siege.
Which one was that?
It was Carl Weathers' episode where it's with the Snoke tanks, or what we think is
a
proto Palpatine. I love that one. That one was just so unexpected because we had in chapter 11 Bo-Katan be like, you need to go to Corvus, to the city of Caladan, and there you'll find Ahsoka Tano. So everyone's thinking, okay, so the next episode is either a filler or it's going to lead us to the Ahsoka episode. And then chapter 12 comes around and you think it's just going to be him going to Navarro, speaking with Cara Dune and Greef Karga, and then you get this massive Imperial sort of cloning lab, if you will. And they're staring at what's really reminiscent of Rise of Skywalker. And it's like they're truly connecting the dots.
Right. Did you cry at the very end of the last episode? The season finale?
Honestly, no. See, I love Luke Skywalker, but I've always said that Obi-Wan Kenobi and the prequels.
Well, he's got to go to a boarding school someday, right, Meg? Right.
Well, I didn't cry. I didn't cry because of Luke. I cried because of Grogu was separating from Din.
That was emotional for sure.
And I ugly cried.
You call him Din?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Everyone calls him Din.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's a broad statement.
Have you seen that hunk of a man?
Din Din.
That was my first name, was Din Din. But,
come and get it.
But John said he gets too hungry, so we gotta.
It's hungry.
Make it more. He's like, you gotta make Star Wars names rhymey. So we did it. Like Gal Gadot. It's gotta be like one word.
No, that moment is our E.T. and Elliot moment of Star Wars, though, where E.T.'s going. It kind of.
I think Peyton Reed even said that, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah, he said that in the behind the scenes gallery for season 2.
Oh, I watched that.
He literally
so
took that from E.T.
I'm just plagiarizing him then. Okay, fair enough.
I just need that scene at the new Jedi Academy where little Grogu's there with little E.T. and their best buds. But little E.T.'s more like a slither. He gets him into a lot of trouble. he's got nunchucks from China.
E.T. has an earring and
he gets those poppers. When you throw them, they pop and snap and shit. And,
Johnny Five Mohawk.
He buys the nunchucks. Well,
Well,
always getting in trouble.
since we're on Grogu, I wanted to ask Meg her opinion, and not trying to get you in trouble or talk trash or anything like that. I don't mean to do that. But what was your opinion of the Grogu stuff going around? Like, as if, like, is that news? I mean, I felt like we already dealt with the Grogu thing. Like why
Do you mean
was
Grogu in Book of Boba?
in Book of Boba? Yeah, why is that like news again? I saw it and I'm just like, yeah, we're back in the summer now. I mean, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that, but at the time, Bespin Bulletin and Star Wars Newsnet had not made a statement based on their sources.
Yeah.
We were going off some leaked crew t-shirts or whatever it was, and also there was that really early rumor about Grogu having been seen on set with Bryce Dallas Howard, and because Bryce Dallas Howard is now officially directing an episode of Book of Boba, we know that. I definitely think there is some substance to those early rumors, as well as obviously now some reputable sources coming out and saying, yeah, he is in it.
Right.
I'd be curious as to how he would make his way into the show.
Yeah,
Like,
you have any
doing
theories?
what?
I think it was Den of Nerds who had a really cool theory about how if they are trying to rebuild this Heir to the Empire thing in canon, then maybe Luke and Grogu and all of our heroes kind of team up for some greater unknown regions threat, like the Grisk or something. I honestly don't know. And I love that I don't know. I love that nobody knows going into this show what we have in store.
Yeah.
Because I can't really see from the trailers and from what we've been told about Book of Boba how Grogu could fit into that story with Luke.
Yeah, me either. I was almost starting to like daydream that it maybe, as the show progresses, we see that Boba's trying to be a more how do you put it? He's trying to maybe play ball with the High Republic or the New Republic better than the previous warlord who was there, and in that maybe that's how he gains is able to maybe fight back against the First Order if it goes that way, and maybe he ends up helping them. You know, it's a bit loose, but that's sort of like where my brain's going right now.
Well, two things is, isn't it too early for the First Order? I think we're still 15 years away from.
I should say, what's his name? Moff Gideon. I mean, the Moff Gideon crew.
The Imperial Remnant.
The Imperial Remnant, yeah. Yeah.
I quite like that, but then if you have a connection to the New Republic, then that might be how Han Solo and Leia / Luke and Grogu play into it, because that was another rumor from Star Wars Only, who has the Tatooine podcast.
Yes.
And he had this rumor about Mars Kanata and how we're going to see Grogu at Mars's castle with Luke and Han. I don't know how accurate that is, but he's my friend, so I'll trust him on this.
Well, no, no. Rob is shaking his head. No, Rob. They put the Slave One at Maz Kanata's place, and those backgrounds are canon. And now we have but when we see Boba show up in that room, there used to be a skiff in there, and Slave One's in there now. So he's going to go there and he's going to get it. So that seems to imply the potentiality of the Slave One being in there for that moment. No, I mean,
isn't that in Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 2.
Godana.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it'll happen in a Marvel comic for certain. Like there'll be 12 issues of it. Can't wait.
Well, a friend of mine showed me a bunch of Cassian sets, and one of the Cassian sets I cannot discredit as being Maz Kanata's castle. And I was looking at it, I'm like, whoa, it does look just like it. And I was trying to
Turns out it's Ilum.
Well, no, but I do keep wondering if they brought it back for both of them, or if maybe that's
Mortis.
why. If that's why
Mortis. People
are thinking it's there. If it's actually in Cassian, but I know Cassian has a castle that looks like a castle set that looks just like Maz's.
Yeah, the thing they do, man, though, in this era of Star Wars is they show something that you think would obviously be something like a sand planet with all this shit blown up. Might have been a big battle on Tatooine, but no, it's a whole new planet in which adventures barely happen. Yeah. So, like, I keep waiting for them to give, like they do. I want to say there's been some fan service where you see something, you go, oh, that's the thing, like the vehicle from the toy, the Kenner toy that was in that episode of Mando, right? That's
transport.
Technically Dark Troopers, that's cool. More often than not, they don't. They just invent something that's just like the thing you already knew. So.
Yeah, Ilum. We just talked about Ilum. I thought I was watching them. I watched them literally build a Tatooine set and then an Arvala 7 set on the same lot, and I could not tell that they were two different sets. And in the film, in the series, I was still confused about it. People are like, "You dummy! There's puddles of water," and I'm like, maybe it rained on Tatooine one day. I don't know.
And this isn't just me not like being cynical about this era. Like when I was a younger laddie junior, I was like, man, can't wait to see Biss in the prequels. Biss is going to be a big deal. Biss is going to be Biss was originally supposed to be the planet Palpatine was from. Like it was, or there was going to be the Sith planet. It had to do with Palpatine, and then Biss turned out to be nothing.
Yeah,
Naboo is more elegant for Palpatine. It kind of shows how an elegant, young, hopeful, rising politician. The irony of the corruption of it.
And then when we saw how, sorry,
he's your favorite, right, Meg? Palpatine.
Oh, my favorite character, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love Palpatine. I think he's the most well-written character in. I don't want to say in all of like literature and film, but quite close. When I watched an amazing video essay. I can't remember who it was by, and they just break down how incredible Palpatine really is written.
It's hard though, Meg. Sometimes they put more into those essays than they're really in the films. You can
we didn't see it. How can we even say we didn't see? I didn't see the essay.
And as Star Wars fans, it's our duty to overanalyze.
Now I gotta watch an essay to defend this argument. That's great. No. 4 hours of how he's the greatest character. No, he's a great character. What I'm saying is that when you see how pretty Naboo is, and the complaint from some of the fans at the time is that it was not Star Warsy enough. It's I'm like, but look how pretty it is. And then when they blow the shit up in the third movie, that's gonna make you feel bad. But they don't. This classic Star Wars move where you sort of expect. So I'm just willing to accept that, like when we get the sinkhole city in the trailer, that's a pleasant surprise. Like I'm hoping that they're learning, like, oh, you can use some of these things we've all been wanting to see for the longest time. Like when Jason, you said you think the pod racer engines are being used, for swoops and stuff. That would be dope, to see, or not the pod racer, like the Naboo stuff, right? The Naboo tech. It's a great way to interject some of that chromey look, right, into some of the used universe look, and also be a nice callback. So I'm hoping there's some more of that.
Hey Meg, I wanted to ask you, what did you think was that new video game that's coming out set in the High Republic era?
Eclipse, yeah,
Eclipse. People, I believe it's like that era that's being explored is like 200 years before. I keep having people tell me that the game is 50 years before. Do you know why that is?
Because that's when the Acolyte is set, which is at the end of the High Republic. I will say I do have to run.
Oh, okay.
But my thought on that is, if they're going to connect it to the Acolyte, it makes sense for it to be right at the end of the High Republic era, because it spans that entire 200 years. Yeah. If that makes sense. And people think it's going to connect to the Phantom Menace, and that might be why they had Yoda there, even though he was alive at the start of the High Republic. So
right. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, Meg.
Thank you so much for having me on. Yeah. It was great to see Rob and
thanks,
Matt
Meg.
and everyone here.
Thanks for kicking me off the stream. Appreciate it.
Bye.
I knew she was going to do that.
Why are you so mean to our guests? You're always mean to the guests.
I mean to me. Look where I live. I choose this life.
You were mean to Meg, and she was like, I'm going because this guy's mean.
Hey, she's on the run. Like, catch me if you can from all those spoilers she stole from Lucasfilm. Don't get mad at me. Lucasfilm Tom Hanks is chasing her right now. She's got to get to a new location.
Probably.
Got that.
So yeah, Rick is like, Grogu is back. Duh. Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that if Grogu is back in this show, and if he's with Luke, fine. But if he's not with Luke, if he gets back to a Din, or they have a reunion already, does that diminish the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian? Does that kill the moment?
I don't know. Like, do people want to? Well, I know I do. I want to see him back with Din. I don't want to see him with Luke.
Right.
I don't know what the consensus is for other people.
Well, I want that too. I mean, ultimately, it's like what we want. But if I feel like if they give it to us too soon,
yeah,
the separation, there needs to be some pain, growing, and separation between the two. So when they get back together,
it's awesome.
It's like, finally, yeah, here we are. They did it. Father and son.
My hope is, look, I'm with you. I want some sad wars where he wins at the end, but he's alone because he doesn't have the key. He still looks at the little ball or whatever. You know what I mean? And like, he doesn't have everything, and none of it means anything to him. He's burdened now with responsibilities, and what he really wants is that little kid around. You know, like, he doesn't want all this shit. So that's the hope. The reality is, man, they're going to shove that kid in there. Like they're just going to stock and stuff Grogu right into that series, one way or the other.
I both agree and disagree. It's like they gave us Luke, but look at, in 10 years, they gave us Luke Skywalker one time. They are very good at holding back what you want and not giving it to you.
Yeah.
And I would say,
I want more Maz's Castle, and it's not happening. I don't know what to do. Like, I want it. I want a whole series called Maz's Castle. It's like Eureka's Castle, but with Maz Kanata and all the crazy puppets, and people come in and they keep blowing up the castle every episode and rebuilding it. Like, one shot, it just disappears like a tornado in like 3 minutes.
Yeah. No, but they are we. That opens up. If we have Luke Skywalker and Grogu back already, and they're like throwing them in, then we are in the era of giving the people what they want, whether it's good for them or bad for them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like at the end of the day, had they been giving us everything that we wanted the whole entire time, there would be no Grogu. There would be no Grogu to give. There'd be no Ahsoka to give. You know what I mean? Like, and Ahsoka's another one where that is like kind of them giving us what we want. Mm-hmm. But also for a long time, it was the exact opposite of what people wanted. People are like, no, I just want to see Obi-Wan and Anakin having adventures in space together. Who's this kid? Why are you putting her there? And then now she's going to get her own series, and everyone's like, yes. So it's a delicate line that they have to walk between giving fans what they want, what they need. And I'm always thinking of what the Ford quote from James that James dropped on the show one day. And basically, if I gave everybody what they wanted, they would say they would have a carriage and a horse or something like that instead of a Ford, something like that. But yeah, and that's exactly what Star Wars has to like do. It has to give the fans what they want, but also needs to be responsible and give them what they need.
George used to tell me, "Mo Soka, mo problems." So you just gotta dole it out in little dips.
I could see them. Oh God, here we go again.
What?
Vark Tech.
No, I got that. It's just spots.
That's just my girlfriend Amy Campbell. We're having a little bit of a tiff. She's into extreme defecation, and I think it's disgusting.
I'm moderating now. I got it. I can ban anybody I want. Just talk some shit. Like,
love you, Amy. You little poop head.
Well, I gotta love that one too. I can't even be mean to the bots. What is the point of the show?
No, you can be mean to the bots.
You can't be. If you can't be angry, you can't be a Star Wars fan.
No, you gotta be nice. You gotta be nice to Meg.
It gives you power.
Nice to Meg is my buddy. You gotta be nice to Meg.
I was nice.
And Star Wars Santa. He's my other buddy.
I didn't complain one time about her kicking me off the show. Like,
You told her that her favorite character was Palpatine, and she was wrong for it, and you were wrong for it.
I said she could be manipulated by a video essay that gives you way more details than could possibly be in the film. And what's wrong with saying that?
But we don't know because we didn't read the essay. That's why.
It's like when George Knapp asked Tom DeLonge, it could be this, right? Oh yeah, it's definitely that. Like, okay, thanks, George, for leading Tom DeLonge along with DeLonge along. That's funny. Tom DeLonge along.
Tom DeLonge.
There's something there. I got to work on it.
Hey, Allison. How's it going, Allison? Wait, what? Yeah, you missed it. Rob was super rude to Meg, and Meg left in tears because she was like, that guy is a dick. And
don't believe everything you read written on the walls in the bathroom, Jason. All right? It's not that mean.
Yeah. Man, I wish Meg got to stay around longer. I wish she hadn't been that mean to her because there's so many like things I wanted to bounce off her because I've been wondering because I like watching her videos every day. She's really good at just keeping up on the news, and she has more patience for a lot of it than I do. And that's not like a slight. It's just mean like I've been doing it for so long. I get like burnt out on like Yoda being back today. I mean, Baby Yoda, Grogu, like to me, like Bespin backing up is like cool, but I feel like Bespin backed it up a long time ago. Like I just feel like it was slow news day. Let's make a story out of nothing, and that's always where I get like a little bit.
You started shit with Bespin.
No, Bespin going. Yeah, no. There is one guy though. God, that faker. I'm gonna role play leaker and say I don't want to be one. Oh, I heard it too, you guys. It's like Jesus Christ, dude. You're chasing the fucking info train. But a couple of days ago, Pedro Pascal literally came out and confirmed it. And then they also confirmed, Lucasfilm confirmed to Total Film, I think, that's Pedro Pascal's voice in the Boba Fett trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the thing. So it's like you can't come out and say, "Oh, me too." At that point, I'm like, God, that guy is such a faker, and everybody who falls for his shit is a fucking moron. Like I just have to say, fucking, I wonder
who you're talking about.
I love Star Wars fans. I love you guys. I love you guys in the chat. But Jesus, as a Voltron, as a fan Voltron, we're a dumb fuck who just believe anything.
We're more of the vehicle Voltron than the Go Lion Force.
Yeah, we're definitely not lions. We're like little turds. We're a big turd Voltron. I'm just a shit mountain.
There's that Voltron everyone forgets that was just the three things that Golden one. Everyone remembers Voltron 3. Like dumb.
Yeah.
Thank you, Allison.
Allison, what about me? Oh, okay.
It's actually pronounced Mike Shro. People don't know that.
It's actually Allison McClone.
McClone. McClone. Like, say you got some oomph.
It's just I was literally typing about Voltron 3.
Yeah, sure you were, Allison. No one's got to fucking sure, right? Like, you just happened to be typing about Voltron 3, like, right?
Honestly, I was remote viewing Allison. I was like, what is Allison doing? What is
and Tom DeLonge? Like, just all of a sudden,
I was like, Voltron.
In Trans or Z, right? Absolutely.
No, this is nothing. I don't believe it, but. I was like messing around on Reddit. I was like, you know what? I need to take some time away from Star Wars stuff and the stuff I was working on and just look at something different and and so I'm going down a paranormal rabbit hole. I end up on a remote viewing board on Reddit, and they have tests, which is kind of fun because you could practice doing remote viewing, and they have different things and they change it up. So you're able to go and do the test every day to see how you're doing.
Can you remote view Simon Kinberg's Boba Fett script? Right. And we can find out once and for all if it exists. I'm sensing the coordinates are up your butt and around the corner, Rob. Oh, fuck.
So anyways, though, I go and remember how we were talking about the Yoda with the snake?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. On the toy. We're talking about the toy. We're having this whole conversation. Well, right after that, I go into the thing. Yeah, we watch those old Star Wars ads, and I'm doing it. And so I tried the remote viewing test. Like, I'm going to try it. Here I go. Powers, supernatural powers. And I'm all, okay, I see a snake. I click
I
on
see a
it,
snake.
and it's Yoda. But it was Yoda.
Yoda.
It was Yoda.
Yoda.
And I was like, and then they're all, can you draw connections to that and your previous day, or even things that are happening? And I was like, whoa, I can. So that's when I knew I had the power. I got the gift. So I can.
Well, that's because you're a Sagittarius.
No,
but if you were a Libra like me, you wouldn't be able to do it.
No,
everyone knows that.
I'm a cusp Leo Virgo. Yeah, I'm on the cusp. I don't know what it means.
You're what?
I'm
Leo?
born I'm August 23rd. So like TV Guide says I'm a Virgo. People says I'm a Leo.
I thought you were a Leo too. What are you, Rob?
It depends on what you. I'm a cusp. I'm a cusper.
What are you, Rob?
No one's figured that out yet.
When was your birthday?
My mom was almost 11 months pregnant, so we really don't know. I mean, technically, if I was alive at 6 weeks, I think I'm like a March, you know. But you know, I mean, if it's 9 months, then I'm a August. But if it's 11, I'm an October. Like, however that works out. I don't know. What's life?
When's your birthday, Rob? You said it on the show before, right?
It's October 10th.
October 10th. So
Libra.
Yeah.
Now everyone's gonna be able to verify my email address and re-log in my info. Thanks, guys.
I'm Rob. Gonna be mean to Meg.
Luckily, I made all my password. So
Sheila, baby, you can't be coming into chat like this, girl. God, Sheila, don't you know that my other girl was just here and that she got a weird poop fetish, and I can't. You know what? I'm gonna break up with her.
Because you talk about Grogu, it drives the ladies wild. They show up.
Yeah, I heard you had the same bot in your stream the other day. Did you have one? Yeah.
In Rob's? Yeah.
In Rob's, yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Most of my audience were bots. That's why I go, hello, bots.
You know what?
And they go, Roger.
There's only one thing that we could use to fight the battle bots. A mid-clone army.
There you go.
Yeah. I think we get the McClone army, give her mod powers, and just let her like strike them down.
Fire! She won't stop doing it. We asked her to please stop after the 35th fucking fire.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they could get on chats.
They can replicate. They're just replicating, and they're taking the country by
the storm. More you feed the NFTs, the more they grow, Max. You gotta understand, it's all connected.
Oh,
like gremlins.
Yeah,
the old gremlin trick. But
so Jason had to go and sell his digital Topps card collection. Now we're infested with bots. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
They're super limited digital cards though. So what were you gonna do? You know.
Yeah, I want to have Allison on the UFO show. I want to do a little subset on the UFO show where she tells me some stories about her ghost hunting days. I find it,
and then proceeds to tell you how aliens are full of shit. I like that dichotomy.
Yeah,
you know?
I am of the mindset that the vast majority of ghost stuff and UAP stuff is not what it seems. That it's just things that people are attributing to something. But I also feel like if you take the Jacques Vallée view of the UAP phenomenon, you cannot discount the whole ghost thing at that point as having some other element of the same kind of dimensional crazy world that we live in. And I'm
missed opportunity for Ghostbusters too, for Janine or someone to be like into aliens and Egon to be like, it's fucking aliens, ain't real.
You believe in ghosts?
Me? I don't. I would say I believe that something happens, and I don't know if the necessarily the ghost genre as we know it is what that actually is,
or spirits.
Yeah. I am definitely more open to the concept of there being interdimensional kind of things that we don't understand, that we can't see. But also, as I go more into this rabbit hole, and things seem to be more real to me than they did before, I definitely feel like we completely don't understand our reality.
I think you said UAP, right?
Yeah, UAPs and ghost.
What does that stand for?
UAP is unidentified aerial phenomenon, which
Okay.
which is what the government had been using for years instead of saying UFO.
Mm-hmm.
They when you read like secret documents, they either call them UAPs or they call them balloons as a joke. And as time went on,
she's asking about the guy's name.
Who?
Allison.
What guy?
The guy that you were talking about.
Jacques Vallée?
It's not in real time, so
yeah. There's a delay.
She's got to be more specific, Allison. We're not actually talking to you.
No,
I like you, but you gotta. We don't know. It's a delay.
Yeah, that was it.
Jacques Vallée, he takes the idea of the UFO phenomenon and says that he studied thousands of cases. He's the guy that the dude from Close Encounters is based on. The French guy.
He also helped create ARPANET, which was the basis for the internet. So you understand Jacques Vallée has some legitimate credits beyond this wild shit. The wild shit got him ostracized from the actual scientific community, actually. So
yeah, he mapped Mars. He helped NASA map Mars. Like the guy is not but he said as a quote that's like, I'm going to be, based off of everything that I know, I'm going to be extremely disappointed if the phenomenon is just aliens from another planet. And because basically there seems to be more evidence based off of people like Jacques Vallée that the UFO phenomenon is definitely an intelligence, but that it shows itself in ways that we can comprehend. And when you look at, like, once you hit 1947, people stop seeing angels in the sky and they start to see UFOs in the sky and stuff like that. Okay. And so it kind of like that intelligence may have taken a new vocabulary to present itself to us. Now, there are people who take like the ancient aliens route, and they're just like, no, their primitive fucking stupid minds couldn't tell the difference. And like, it's like, yeah, maybe. But at the same time, there are like Jacques Vallée has these encounters in his books that are like completely fascinating about how like one of the things I like is like fairies and elves and stuff like that would appear to people, and they appear to be in trouble. They ask for help, and then you help them. And
J. Edgar Hoover appered to me though.
Yeah, but they
way into conspiracies.
They give you a piece of bread, like a little pancake, right? But UFO stories show up all over the world with the same exact thing. Like one of the ones we covered on the show is this little ship with looks like little Italian astronauts inside. Come out, they ask for water. The dude brings them water, and then he gives them pancakes, and the guy has the pancakes, which is hilarious. Like it's one of my favorite like weird ass UFO stories. But there's always this like strangeness to all of the actual like straight up like encounters with it. And you know, you could just blow it off and go, oh, they're mentally ill. The end. Okay, fine. But it's like these motifs happen over and over again. And so there is a part of like human consciousness and that's just fascinating by itself, I think. And like, what does it mean? Like people are doing DMT and they're seeing DMT elves is what they call them. And it's like people, me and Max go out into the desert. We could take acid tonight. We're not going to see the same things as anyone. We're going to see our own individual random ass weird things. But like people like doing DMT, for instance, which by the way, I don't think is paranormal personally. My take is not that it's a paranormal thing. It's that you are doing drugs, but they keep seeing these same images. And that says that there's something hard coded in our consciousness that it makes us see these. And they appear to be like AI is what's fascinating about it. Our brain might have AI built into it that says, no, Max, don't go off the deep end. pushes you this way, and these little forces in our psyche that continually does it. And yeah, fucking Ricky's all Joe Rogan claimed to see jesters flipping him off.
What is DMT? That's the drug you said?
Yeah, it occurs naturally in nature, but it's been synthesized since then. And when you use, and apparently the belief was or is, we do have it all throughout our bodies, but when your body dies, when you're born and when you die, you get a DMT is released out into your system, and you kind of trip out.
Futurama, they lick a toad.
Yeah, the toad.
Hallucinate.
I've heard of that.
Or in Drawn Together, they licked Pikachu and they got high. But that was my favorite episode of Drawn Together.
So yeah, Mike Tyson. Ricky says Mike Tyson loves. Yeah, apparently Mike Tyson is doing that toad like every day. Like that's what they're saying, anyways. And boy,
it gets me rock hard. I feel like a superstar. I get really rock hard and I lick toads.
I really feel
and then I go to Idaho and I beat the shit out of Rob. Like, okay.
Yeah. Shows up, he's all.
Got me there, Ghost Dog.
He has a toad for you, and he's just like,
yeah, I want you to lick it. Lick the toad.
I got this for you.
Pretend it's what from Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But,
all I'm saying in Super Mario Bros. 2, Mario dreams and the enemy is a toad that makes you hallucinate. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, I know it's a reskinned game of Doki Doki Pan. I understand. But what you got to understand is that they reskinned it with shit that they had to be licking toads.
Yeah.
You eat mushrooms, you see toads, you dream. Something to Mario 2 that taps into the thing up here where they put with the recovered alien stuff, taps into the thing in here. Yeah. I spoke to God and I saw Grogu in Mando season 3, first episode.
But
they're hiding it. They lick them and they have visions.
I was like thinking about it, and like I don't pretend to understand like the time travel stuff. What's
you think if you lick a Palpatine, he's electrical?
It's like
I love Mike. He had a book. Hold on. Mike Tyson did this book on Customato. Okay, that is fucking fascinating. Fascinating. He did the audio too. Listen to it, but or I don't know if he did the audio, but I heard his voice the whole time. Anyway, he I heard Mike Tyson when we were there, but he talks about how Customato, his original trainer, was out. He was really shunned during the McCarthy era for being a socialist because he considered himself a socialist, but Cuss hated the dude that was a right-hand man, Trump's fucking protege, the lawyer that was the right-hand guy to Joseph McCarthy. I'm brain farting right now. Okay. He hated that guy because that guy brought the mob into boxing. So he hated that guy. Now, the crazy part is Roy Cohn. He hated Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn was the guy who mentored Trump. He was Trump's lawyer. He was a lawyer for the mob. It turned out to be. That's how he got the mob involved. The crazy part is when Cuss dies.
The mob?
When Cuss dies, then Mike Tyson gets involved with Don King and Donald Trump and loses all of his money. And I just can't help but think that whether Mike realizes it or not to this day, that there may have been some intentional vendetta to fuck up the thing that Cuss helped build. You know what I mean? Like, because Cuss was a real fucking good dude. So like,
wait.
So anyways, fantastic book.
Cadence, is that? Do you mean like too much teeth?
Hey, Cadence.
I do want Mike Tyson in The Mandalorian so bad. He needs to be a Mando. Like, if ever there's an 80s figure that would be a fantastic... Come on, you got Apollo Creed. Get Mike Tyson in there. Have him team up. Come on! Do it!
He ranked 10 in the class. And that's my whole thing with him. Where I'm
like, shit, he did. Don't do it! Well, you know... Can never win, man. He could be part of Star Wars Eclipse, though, right? Like
with what's his name?
Yeah, with David Cage. Kind of cancels out.
At that point, it's just like, what are you going to do to us? What are you going to do?
well, we're gonna get the quartering to do a review of the game early. Like, oh no, Mike, don't do that.
Oh, Ricky says Mike's a trip. He said he was hypnotized before every fight. And have you all seen that video of Bill Clinton? Looks like a robot putting makeup on him. God, I'm listening to last podcast on the left's Scientology episodes, and L. Ron Hubbard was a master hypnotist, and he would hypnotize like his friends into helping him with this cult. I'm like, the guy's a genius. Like, I actually love L. Ron Hubbard. I think he's a bastard, but I love him at the same time. Like, he seems fucking cool as shit in a really bad way, you know?
Is he
like,
still alive?
No, he went to space heaven.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, though, so what I'm gonna say is, I think if you when it comes to the UFO UAP stuff, you have there's two dominant kind of theories. One's the time travel theory, that it's us from the future coming back. But I honestly believe that time travel doesn't work that way. I think if you were to come back, you would be coming back to a splintered timeline. If we're in the original timeline, I don't think you could come back to us. I think you could only go back to a splintered timeline. So that kind of never made sense to me, to be honest with you. That's why I don't buy it.
But you've seen Back to the Future,
right? And Marty never goes back to his real timeline.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Oh
no.
Yeah, he like literally destroys it,
and that's why the Jennifers are different. That's how I do it.
You know, as a kid, I used to think the second Jennifer was hotter, but now I'm back. I think the first
never been. I like Elizabeth Shue. Never. You look. She should have been the straight man in that comedy group if Marty was going to take the Crispin Glover role. But they got Elizabeth Shue out there really hamming it out, like.
Yeah.
Like, and she's a good actress, but it was just, I don't know, it's the worst part of those sequels.
Which one was that? Was that the
2 and 3?
Okay.
Well, mostly 2, but
yeah, the original actor had some like traumas that went down in her life, and she wasn't in a place to act, and so they recast her and they put.
You know who's originally supposed to play his girlfriend in Back to the Future 1, Max? Do you? Jan from The Office, that actress, and she turned it down to go do that movie Rad with Josh Brolin. It's true.
Jan,
it's kind of fucking cool though.
From The Office, yeah, the original boss in the first 2 seasons. Remember, she ended up dating Michael Scott at the end.
Yeah, if you watch The Office, she was like, she was like the more like stern girlfriend that he had before it gets the goofy one. Anyways,
she has big boobies.
It's a whole point in the show. I'm not pointing out something. I'm not being a misogynist. I'm telling plot storylines here.
If liking boobies is being a misogynist and noticing them when boobies are big,
I'm misogynist.
Misogynist. No. But,
this is a Star Wars show. It's gonna talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but
okay, anyway, Twi'leks.
What I've been trying to say for like 20 minutes, like I get it out of my brain, is that it I don't think you can necessarily if you think that the UFO phenomenon might be an intelligence or interdimensional disruptions, then you really can't discount ghost at that point and the concept of ghost. And like, you know, I have a family member who I trust and believe whatever that family member says, told me the other day that when he was like 20, he was at a friend's house and they said that their house was haunted. He didn't believe them. And that he was washing his hands in the sink and he looked out and he saw a guy in a fedora walk out of the garage, walk right past the window and disappear. I was like, oh shit, I saw a ghost. And his friend was there with him. They both ran out. They both were like, we gotta go. And they both left.
We got a ghost.
And, yeah. And so like, you know, if you asked me a year ago if I thought ghosts were possible, I would say no. I would say
I probably saw a ghost and I don't believe him. All right. Like, like I legitimately had what you would call a paranormal experience and I don't believe it. So I don't know.
Well, I know you didn't ask me, but I believe in spirits, and specifically because there was something that happened. My grandmother had died in my mom's house she was in hospice.
Okay.
And then that Christmas, and actually the year that The Force Awakens came out, my mom we all went to my aunt's house, like in the Dallas area, and my aunt had my grandmother's old grandfather clock, like that never worked. It stopped working actually when I was in high school. Well, when my mom arrived, it started working again.
Right.
And so we were just saying that that's probably my grandmother, just saying that she was with us.
Yeah. There's things like that you can't like discount. Like the most paranormal thing in terms of ghost stuff that I ever had was, which is probably just me psychologically trying to process something. Was I was like in that weird place in between awake and asleep, and we had lost a baby like the day she was going to be born. It was really rough, and then so I'm sleeping. But I have an 8-year-old kid sit on my bed and we have a conversation. And the conversation is in my dream with Hannah, who was the daughter that we lost. And it's like, just like, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Are you going to tell mom that she needs it? I'm just like, yeah. But it was like we always knew each other. And it was like, it was just chill. It wasn't like anything had happened. It was just this real like mundane, like, yeah, okay, I'll talk to you soon. And then that was it. You know what I mean? But it's a dream. And so is that just my brain? You know what I mean? But yeah, and there is a lot of stuff, like what Ricky brings up, that scientists now think the past, present, and future are happening. Ooh, you okay?
Yeah.
An attack?
Clawed me, yeah.
That's all happening at the same time. And that is something that we keep hearing from all of the UFO people is exactly that. Yeah. And so
we're also seeing it with Galactic Star Cruiser, the beginning and the end at the same time. Like yeah, it's amazing.
Did you delete Tiffany Carpenter?
I'm on it.
All right.
I'm on it, Max.
Tiffany, baby. No.
I got one job to do. I do it well.
Man, I got so many
people.
I got so many girlfriends, and they are all coming on here. And
Allison, the only thing I know about Einstein, he was in a fun movie with Tim Robbins and Meg Ryan. All right, I really like that movie.
Do you know what you should watch? Is they made a biopic on him when he was young. It's called Young Einstein. It's historically accurate, and it's so good.
He put bubbles into beer, bro. I learned that. Everyone knows that.
Isn't that the one with the character that had that big, like, red hair?
Serious, and he gets shocked, and his hair goes out. You're like, oh, that's how he got the hair. Yeah, what were they thinking?
They almost named him Yahoo Google. That would have been weird,
right? Yeah, but yeah, didn't really. Was always like, I've always been kind of like on the Joseph Campbell train, the Carl Jung train, about, how does this stuff all this stuff is symbols. It's all symbols that our subconscious is giving to us to help us cope. But it's like after really dealing with the UFO stuff and then having it confirmed that it's real over and over to me now, I'm like, who knows what the fuck is going on and where we are? Nothing makes any sense. And reality is fundamentally broken. It was a lot easier. It's a lot easier to be like super uptight.
Certainly this reality. Now, it's fundamentally broken every day I wake up like this. Won't stop.
Yeah, no. I mean, nothing really makes a lot of sense. And I don't think
it's a little thing. It's a little thing, but I just want to say, in the new Hawkeye series, Jeremy Renner always looks like just like, this hurts. Everything hurts. And I'm like, I relate to that feeling, that what he's doing in I relate to that. That's the last 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, and after you watch Young Einstein, go and watch Drop Dead Fred, because man, is Phoebe Cates adorable in it.
That movie is fucking funny.
It's great.
Oh my god.
I like when he looks up the mom's skirt and says cobwebs. It's just great.
Or when she was at dinner and she starts like pulling up her napkin. Like, you know what I mean? Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
she was on that date with some guy, and
yeah, it's a great movie.
she's doing something with a napkin. Forgot.
Allison says time dilation is real. You can test it, hence why going forward is possible.
It was a Project Looking Glass was meant to actually look into not time travel going back to the wagon train days, but to look into small minutiae of time distortion.
Well, and then Project X, Matthew Broderick in Monkeys. Think about it.
That screenwriter. Oh man, I was just reading something. I was like, I really like this, and he's like, yeah, I worked on Project X. I'm like, how did you know? I gotta get his name. Hold on. Yeah, I know this one.
Yeah, no, and we know that I mean, time dilation is a thing from
Flight of Navigator. I didn't look it up. I know it now, right? Like it's up here. I didn't look it up. Flight of Navigator. The guy who wrote Flight of Navigator also wrote Project X.
I wonder.
Now I gotta go look and see if I'm right. Hold on.
Are they still right?
Huh?
But yeah, time slows down the closer you get to the speed of light. Yeah, which is why when we send satellites up, we have to write the patch. We have to write a time patch in our satellites, or they come out of they get out of sync with our time down here on Earth because they're moving 17,000 miles around in space. It experiences time different because time's relative. So so if you were on a satellite every year, you would get a second. You'd be a second behind us. It's crazy, right? Or a second ahead of us. It's wild.
No, it's not Flight of Navigator. It was Sneakers and War Games. Duh. That's
Sneakers
what
and War Games. Both good movies, though. Both good movies.
So War Games and Sneakers, that guy wrote. It's just I was watching it. I was watching Sneakers when I watched the Flight of the Navigator for the show, and we never talked about it. So
right.
That's why.
No. We did a whole Flight of the Navigator show.
I don't remember that either.
Yeah, we did a whole UFO
Alzheimer's
show.
real, folks. Don't think coffee helps because I've been drinking a shit ton of this for 30 years,
that one.
and I don't remember anything. So
yeah, Ricky says the Vatican claims to have a time viewer that looks like a TV.
That's what they just tell the Pope to shut him up. He just sits in front of it. I look at the TV. Yes, I see the future and the past. Lucille Ball. Carter. I love Carter. He's always there.
So what they're probably doing then is they're probably all getting together, like all the pedophiles, and they're like, hey, pedophile, I'm gonna watch you bathe as a child. And he's like, okay, can I watch you bathe? They're like, yeah. And they're just like all watching it on that TV right now. That's why we don't have it. That's why we can't see it. All the priests are using it to watch each other.
I know my memory's so bad. I had to check my own fucking knowledge because I was like, I don't trust that. That's true. For Meg and everyone, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I know I don't. I had to go look.
What was the what Bob Lazar mentions that
that's what I was doing, the time dilation.
But what was the project Bob Lazar mentions?
Project Looking Glass. It was one of the 3 projects at S4, and it was not to look back in time like in the wagon train days. This is his words, that it was about time manipulation, small distortions in time caused by manipulating gravity.
Right.
And he wasn't certain what they were doing with that. But
yeah, did you watch that one documentary or that one interview with that one general's son, with the Roswell general's son? And he's talking about like all the crazy projects that is like that, like talking about like time travel and shit.
You're talking about Philip Corso?
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, I don't buy it, Philip Corso.
I don't. I'm not saying I buy it, but it's wild and it's fun. It's definitely fun. Yeah, it's fun. But I think he believes what he's saying.
So you got the writer of Wall Street and the writer of War Games, and you get Project X.
It's good.
It's so depressing, bro.
It's good though.
It has a happier ending, but man, they just killed the monkeys with nuclear radiation.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't able to get in front of a full motion video game without thinking about them killing a monkey. Like, that's what that fucking movie did to me. I was like, fucking stop experimenting on animals.
I love monkeys.
Yeah, me too.
It's a depressing film, Project X, for certain.
I don't want to be depressed.
Did you ever listen to the audio when that monkey ripped that chick's face off?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to. Let's not do that.
Some
of us have to sleep someday, Jason.
No, it's just like, yeah, it's like a hard listen, and like depending on what mood I'm in one mood it's hilarious, and in another mood I'm like almost like tearing up, like this is crazy, turn it off. It just depends on where it catches you.
Oh, poor lady.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not even the
Or
lady got her
monkey
face
too. It's not
ripped
even the
off.
monkey's fault. Yeah.
No, he got really fat. Did you know about that? He got like the monkey was super obese and he was depressed, and he wanted to go out in a car ride, and the friends, they weren't couple, they were just friends, I guess. They were going out, two women were just going out, and then like the monkey's like, I want to go, like signs he wants to go, and they're like, no monkey, no, and he's like, "Whoa!" And he goes in and he rips the lady's face off, and I would never watch the video of the face getting ripped off. But you can listen to that to the 911 call, because I got on this kick during the pandemic where I was just listening to like 911 calls.
Oh my god, why?
Because it's fascinating.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got really into like true crime and stuff, and that led me down 911 calls. And you listen to some of those operators, and some of them, they're like complete heroes. You're just like, man, they like a 911 operator, people get mad at them, but they have to keep you on the phone.
And some of them are just dicks. Like, so you say your face is getting ripped.
Yeah,
Ma'am, wait, I can't hear you. Could you move your mouth back into its position? So we can... yeah, totally. Some of them are way inconsiderate, Max. Like you don't want one of those.
No,
we can't Yelp. Unfortunately, we can't Yelp 911 dispatchers. So it's a toss up.
This is by studying light, they can see back to the early universe. Oh yeah, that was one of the interesting things about that James Webb telescope. I sent you the article, Rob, and it was like,
yes.
I think
they're very afraid. Reddit's very afraid that it's so fragile it's going to get broke. That's all I can take though from that.
Oh yeah, Reddit. I mean, comments. But what's interesting is the person from NASA said it is going to tell us about the origins of humanity and if there's other life out there. They say it is. That's a big sell from NASA. That's NASA saying we already know. This is just going to confirm it. That's what I think, anyways. I'm conspiratorial at this point.
Conspicuous.
It's
a very good word.
It's a good word. I'm gonna start using it. Definitely conspicuous.
That's like that crazy conspiracy theory rap group Conspirituality or whatever it was. Like, you ever heard that one?
No.
Yeah, I'll send you the song. You'll listen to it. It's something else.
Is it like
conspiracy rap?
Conspiracy rap?
Yeah, conspirituality. I'll get it. Yeah, it's conspiracy. I kid you not.
Hey.
If 8 Mile and Alex Jones, you know what I'm saying? Boom, teamed up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I used to love conspiracy. Thought it was so fun, and then Alex Jones ruined it because
technically Coast to Coast ruined it because they propped him up and they put all this stuff out there first. So I love Coast, but
I don't blame the Coast. I don't blame the Coast.
They get a pass. Yeah, I only had Heaven's Gate on, and then Heaven's Gate murdered themselves. But sure, okay.
I don't blame the Coast for that. I don't blame the Coast.
Blame them. Art literally retired because of it.
He you know what? Because he's a man with a heart, and he should not have blamed himself over it. It was not his fault. They were gonna do that shit either way. No, but it's just like it's like people don't realize, like, it's like people can't take information in and then be like, I'm not going to accept this as canon. I'm going to let it float around up here as things to consider.
Mm-hmm.
They just have to let it into their heart. And then once it's in there, nothing is real. Everything's a conspiracy. And, it's like...
Here's a good conspiracy. Is E.T. Star Wars canon or not? Is it a goof or is it real?
It's a goof.
But they're really in the shot. They're not like in the background, blurred out like the Star Trek Enterprise. They are like... what I mean? Right there, bro. Like,
why I know it's a goof? They don't have clothes on. They're fucking naked, dude.
They're just Chewbacca.
It's like in the Rescuers when you see the boobies in that one shot of Rescuers.
BB-8's naked. He's real.
No, BB-8 has coverings on. We see it off in episode 9.
Is that the big? They're gonna do a BB-8 with no covering next, right?
Oh,
that'll be the big thing.
Well, they kind of do it for a second at 9, but yeah, E.T.'s naked, and I gotta say, I think E.T. would be wearing some clothes in Star Wars. I think when we see them,
you think they'd wear underoos?
Yeah, definitely.
Or do you think they all dress up in wigs and pretty dresses? Like, wouldn't that be great if that was actually
his real clothes, but they didn't know. They thought it was dressed. But he's like, no, I feel very comfortable.
Okay, I'm gonna ruin ET for you right now.
No, don't.
Look at ET's fingers in your mind.
No.
Imagine what his on-sized wiener must look like.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, and there's like 5 of them because he's an alien.
Now I can't unsee it. Thanks, appreciate it.
And the tips glow red, and he goes, ouch. He points out, it goes, ouch.
Oh no.
Allison says,
I don't know.
A conservative estimate for planets that could support carbon-based life in the Milky Way is 300 million.
Conservatives will say anything, Allison. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, just a conservative estimate.
Okay. They're only looking for carbon so they can oil and prime the galaxy. You know what I mean? I drink your cosmos.
Yeah.
What's really worse, Alice, is when you see that dried, shrivel up dead ET, and then you look at his fingers. Ooh. Keep you out the pool. That's for certain.
Yeah. But I do like the callback. Whenever I watch ET and he goes home when he sees,
it's great.
Yoda,
and then he's in episode 1 because
that's his home.
ETs have to be canon. They have to be. That's the one you can't take that away from.
I hated crying. I hated crying in that movie.
And
Phantom Menace, me too.
No,
like I got every fucking 5 minutes.
No, on ET. I think that was my first time like crying at watching a movie.
How old were you the first time you watched ET?
Doesn't matter. But
okay.
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
no, I don't even remember.
No, because I was I saw it when it came out. I'm old enough to have seen it when it came out, but I was only like around 2.5. I was probably like maybe 3 years old, and I saw it with both my grandparents. They finally went to the movies. They didn't go to the movies. My grandma didn't like them. And I go to the movies, but she had to see ET, and so we went and saw it. And I remember being really, really small, and I just remember being fucking scared of ET.
Really
scared the shit out of me as a kid. But I do remember everybody crying at the end, and me going like, "Why the hell are you crying? He gets to go home. It's what he wants to do." Yes, like I saw it as a child as a very happy ending because he got to go home. Yeah.
ET made me want to try beer. I can guarantee you that, and it was horrible. That was my takeaway.
ET made me want to lick frogs and see back when I was born.
And we're still doing it. Never gave up.
Do you guys remember when ET came out on VHS and the tape was green? It had like green, the little things that spun around in it were green.
I didn't even know that it came out on VHS.
Yeah. I remember that I had the VHS. We got it from Alpha Beta. The case was all stars, said ET, thing in the center. Don't remember the green.
Yeah, it was green. It was super weird. It was like the only cassette I ever saw like it. It was just super strange. But I remember bringing it to a school because I wanted to show my friends I got it. And my teacher goes, "You got ET?" And she put that shit on. We watched ET that day. Impromptu ET viewing during school. And that's why I'm dumb.
Awesome.
I think it rained I think it happened to rain that day.
Do you remember that VHS were like really expensive then?
Yeah.
Like $90 or something like that.
You know, the ironic part about all this is that if you actually look at Ewok, because the static electricity, it sucks you too, but it's for a different reason. But don't lick Warwick because it's not appropriate.
Oh my God.
X-Wing says, "Man, I remember when we started getting colored the orange Nickelodeon cassettes were the business." Oh, did they? Did orange ones?
Those were great. Yeah. I was shocked that when the Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze came out, that it wasn't a green cassette. I was like, you would think you'd open it would look like the TCRI canister, and you pull it out, and it'd have the green cassette like Ooze, and you'd plot, but nothing.
Yeah, wasn't Turtles like actually like an independent movie too? The
first one's, I don't like the second one, but the second one's more of a corporate driven.
The first one's the only one I watch. I don't watch part 2.
Did you guys ever watch You Can't Do That on Television?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. All the time. Barf. They shot kids, all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm having I have the trial right now for Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah, it's on
and that's on it. And so is Double Dare, and so Double Dare comes on, and you know how
it's not good.
Oh, it's great. You know, when you watch like Jeopardy with like your grandparent or something like that, you're like, God, you're smart. You're so fucking smart, grandma, or whatever. That's what my kids think about me because they're like, in this year, he put a banana in a tailpipe, and it was the #1 grossing movie of night. And I'm like, Beverly Hills Cop. I'm like,
the real heroes of Double Dare are the girl and guy at the end who have to show the prizes and do little skits with them, right? Like, and they're all wearing denim.
I think they're boning.
Huh? They got it. Like, yeah. I always thought it was like Slater and someone else from Saved by the Bell. Those two. It wasn't. Just my head, blurred them out. But they have their pants up high and the shirts tucked in, and clearly they're into one another.
And Mark Summers is totally doing coke like the whole time. He's like, yeah, all right, kids.
Oh, you can tell when he makes his own jokes that are off script because no one laughs. Everyone's like.
The only time I can't
take the physical challenge
is when they do like their Elvis impersonations, and then he kind of ad libs his Elvis stuff. I'm like, please stop. It's not funny, and it wasn't then, and it's not now. It's not fair. I guess he did it then. He did it now, but that's time.
I've been saying on the movie trivia Schmodown, they need to add a physical challenge if you don't know anything. Like, and you run into a bodega and try and steal sweethearts or something. Like,
yeah, that. Like I said, I'm not knocking it, but that stuff is so like sportsy, like it's not. To me, it's not very
right.
fun.
With some money though, you could do a physical challenge, and then you could add chocolate pudding slides, or you could pick the nose, and that.
By Allison,
I think that's when we do our show, the McClone Wars, and we will have Allison host it, and we'll have a physical challenge.
Yeah, but it's pretty bad for the first 3 seasons, Then it gets good. So.
As long as they're giving out Casio keyboards, asking me who Howie Mandel is, and he's
the
not
best game show was Video Power Season 2 because you could win a Neo Geo. The best gift. It has already tripled its value. Those games are $1,000.
I liked Funhouse. Remember Funhouse?
Funhouse was great. Yes, with JD Summers. Yes.
JD Summers.
My friend, you need to understand, I forget many things, but cheesy 80s and 90s game shows are permanently etched up here. Yeah, and my Finders Keepers was my other favorite. And my dad hated when I tore apart the kitchen to play Finders Keepers. That's what I want in VR. I want VR Finders Keepers so I can just rip apart a whole house. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No. Did y'all ever remember watching Turkey TV?
Which one?
Turkey TV. It was
Turkey TV. Yeah, it was part of the Nickelodeon. Had these Canadian shows that would run on. Turkey TV had a lot of crossover bits with the You Can't Do That on Television crew, but they had these little animated segments like Spy versus Pie, but it was Pilgrim versus Turkey.
It's just this is a weird show. There's a YouTube channel. This guy goes over all of Nickelodeon's shows. Yeah. And there's one for You Can't Do That on Television. It started like in the 70s in England.
Mm-hmm.
It was really interesting. And it's like an hour long. You should watch it.
I remember being like about maybe 11 years old and nobody's home, and Clarissa Explains It All comes on. And I'm like, damn, Clarissa, you're fine. And then I'm like, the next thing I know, I'm like, what am I doing? Why can't I stop doing this right now? And then my family came home. I'm like, ah! Just watch.
I had that same experience. I had the same experience with Eureka's Castle.
Just watching TV. Nothing.
Every time Eureka shows up, bro, I'm telling you, it's the hair, man. It's those cones,
Oh man.
Oh my god.
But
all I'm saying is Uma Thurman wore them. They work. Eureka's Castle.
She was hot in Baron Munchausen. Remember that?
Sure, it's what got her the job.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good show. But anyways, we're way over time. I just noticed. I started talking with my friends about whatever, and now here we are. But wait, what does this mean? Peter Griffin, could you make bucket number 6? What does that mean?
Is that the Bozo Show?
Bozo Show?
Am I right?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I like to bring up really esoteric shit and make y'all guess it.
We were talking about JD Summers, so I think he gets a pass. I think he gets a pass on that one when we talked about Funhouse. But yeah, I remember Guts and all that jazz. The one show that holds up out of everything though is The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Even if you've never seen it, it is still
World's Strongest Man.
Artie, the World's Strongest Man. The show just had a really good heart about it. All these rock stars are in it. It really holds up.
See, I was right. The Bozo Show.
Bozo Show.
Yeah, it's where the
like
kids
clowns.
like they throw the ping pong ball or whatever in the buckets.
Yeah, I don't like clowns. I don't watch clowns.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It wasn't like Bozo. It was Bozo the Clown, or are you just saying clown?
Yeah, no, it was Bozo the Clown.
Okay, all I remember about Bozo was I never saw anything with Bozo, but for like 1 year, all these people started getting stickers that said "No Bozos" and putting them on their cars. Like they were everywhere, like in the 80s, at least out here in Southern California. No Bozos.
Why?
They were stickers. I don't know, but they were. But that's how I. That's
put Garfield's on windows too, Max. Yeah, I don't know, man.
But No Bozos was like
sticker on a car in the 80s.
Was like a thing for like a
Forrest Gump probably invented it too. It was a cut scene from Forrest Gump, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Forrest Gump was a documentary. By the way, did you know that in Forrest Gump 2 he goes to space?
Mm-hmm. Everyone knows that.
Did you know that, Rob? The author cashed in on Forrest Gump and wrote the second book, and in the second book he goes to space. Forrest Gump in space.
I remember doing a deep dive on the making of Forrest Gump 2 and Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2, and just glad they never got made.
I definitely think if Tom Hanks had any balls whatsoever, he and Chet Hanks.
He does.
Chet Hanks would play the son, and he'd be like, "Booyakasha, we're going to space, man!" And they would do it, and it would be great. It would be fantastic.
It would be great.
I would be like, "Max, you're flying down. I got us midnight tickets. We're doing this." All right, but everybody, we're gonna let you guys go because it is that time, and we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If any cool news breaks or anything happens, we'll do it. I'll be back.
It should happen in about 16 minutes.
16 minutes, yeah. Yeah. And I don't have any kids tonight, so if I get bored, I might do a UFO stream later. I don't know. If you end up being bored, Rob, I'll hit you up. See if anybody wants to come on. I don't know if I'm going to do it, though. I haven't decided yet. But anyways, everybody have a good night.
It's not about spaceships. It's not about spaceships.
We did
it.
We did
you use it? Yeah. Did you use